a complex subject, and you must proceed with care. For example, when it comes to opening chakras, you need to open them one by one, starting with the root chakra. Otherwise, you might create new blockages or damage your energy system in such way that you will require help from a professional psychic healer to patch you up. You should not trust people who offer to open your third eye for you. It is not an easy thing to do, but even if it succeeds, you won't be open to a level you desire. Instead of receiving psychic messages or seeing positive beings, you will see only low vibrations, demons, negative spirits, bad energies, and so on. It's not worth it. More than that, opening your third eye is not enough. You need to walk the psychic path gently, because only then will you attune yourself to subtle energies and messages, and only then will you be prepared to work with energies, messages, and entities. Without this, your psychic life will turn into a mess. Some time ago, I approached a woman working in an ice cream shop. She had a very energized and clear third eye chakra that caught my attention. I asked her if she can perceive things or if she receives any psychic messages. Her answer was negative. This experience proved something I already knew possible from my past chakra readings. Many times I have read people who had their third eye wide open, energized, and cleansed of blocking energies, but these people were unable to see clairvoyantly, nor were they able to perform any psychic task. When you open your third eye, you attune yourself to low vibrational energies. With self-growth, development, and practice, you attune yourself to higher and higher vibrations. That's why at first you're beginning to notice your own flaws, fears, and negative energies, and only after many months of practice will you begin to perceive angels, positive spirits, guides, and energies of love. How so? Opening the third eye leads not only to clairvoyance. It gives you an insight into yourself, and into others. Yes, you might be able to look into others and see their worries, concerns, fears, lies, problems, and so on. This can make you a good psychic that will help people with their lives. But remember, you will see into yourself, as well. And you will see bad stuff in yourself, stuff that you will have to deal with in order to develop further on the spiritual path. Psychic development is directly related to spiritual growth. This cannot be denied. And spiritual growth is not always easy. Sometimes, it's very painful because we must face the fears and lies we've hidden deep in our subconscious mind. These problems, fears, lies, worries, and concerns, every dirt, dust, and stuff that you hide in your subconscious is called core images or meta-programs. I've written the following description in my other book, Psychic Development Simplified. The term core images refers to all negative patterns, beliefs, opinions, memories, and experiences you have. These images not only create blockages, but often they can also act as attachment points for astral entities and psychic vampires, and it's a good idea to remove them in order to get rid of vampiric attachments and astral beings that feed on you. Psychic Development Simplified, p. 95. By practicing meditation, or energy work, these core images will be recalled. In most cases, as memories. Sometimes, they might be recalled as feelings or just emotions. As such, they need to be cleansed by using the core images technique, psychonet method, affirmations, or any other technique that deals with elements of the shadow self. Zazen meditation is also a nice technique. Now, I will present an exercise that you can use to trigger a recall of core images so you can work them out later. This is the process of third eye cleansing. Be aware, I assume that you have some time of general psychic development behind you and that you know what you're doing. If you haven't practiced psychic development before, do not practice third eye opening, it's too dangerous. Using meditation and point focus to open the third eye. I will teach you how to use basic meditation to help yourself in cleansing your third eye. Some people suggest practicing in lotus or half lotus position, with your legs crossed, but I suggest sitting comfortably, just like that. For example, in an armchair. When you're sitting, close your eyes and start breathing. Breathe in with your nose, and breathe out with your mouth. Use your diaphragm to breathe. Most people in the West use their upper body to pump the air in and out, but the correct way to breathe is to use your diaphragm, that big muscle in front of your stomach. Breathe without moving your upper body. And breathe gently, there's no need to struggle. As you breathe, focus on the area of your third eye, it's the small area between your eyebrows. You can scratch it with a fingernail to feel it more intensely. The point of this meditation is to focus on that small point. According to a Chinese saying, energy follows thoughts, so by focusing on your third eye, you direct life force into that area. But if you want, you can collect by use of visualization. Visualize all energy that is not needed elsewhere to move into your third eye, charging it, cleansing and healing it, with each breath in. Practice this form of meditation for 10 to 15 minutes per day. If you get distracted, don't worry, acknowledge the thought or event and return to focus. Thoughts have a tendency to return when they are chased, so don't chase your thoughts, just relax. Observe the images as they appear, observe the thoughts as they appear. The only thing that concerns you is an image or thought that triggers an emotional response. For example, during the meditation, you may recall a memory that triggers negative emotions, sadness, fear, or similar. This is a core image, write it down in a notebook, as you will have to work it out during a core images session, or any other shadow self work. If no such emotional triggers appear during the meditation, it's okay. You've directed the energy into your third eye, and from now on, memories and core images might be recalled in any moment of your life. When they do, work them out. If they don't appear, keep practicing this form of meditation on a daily basis. But remember this simple rule: if you have a core image waiting to be worked out, do not meditate. One core image is enough for now. Unless it's worked out, take a break from meditation. There's a secret rarely anyone mentions: most exercises focus on redirecting energy towards the third eye. But the truth is, that along with steady and gentle spiritual growth, energy amounts increase a lot, and it finds its way to the third eye, anyway. So you have a choice. You can either focus on redirecting the energy to your third eye, or you can leave things to themselves, and when you are ready, for real, your third eye will be cleansed enough without any effort on your part. At the end of each session of this exercise, you must ground and center yourself. First, do the centering process. Count 3 index fingers from your belly button down toward your genitals in your abdomen. There's an energy center called a Tan-Tien. Place both your hands on this area and focus on it. Your focal point should be that small point below your belly button, about 2 inches inside your body. Focus on this area for 2 to 3 minutes, and intend all unnecessary energies to return to this point. Just keep this intention in mind. After 2 to 3 minutes, you're done with centering. This exercise will keep your energetics balanced so you won't suffer from the Kundalini syndrome 3 over time. Remember this centering technique, as you're going to use it almost all the time during the process of psychic work. Next, ground yourself. For example, visualize energetic roots going from your feet into the ground, and intend all unwanted, dirty energy to leave your body into the ground. Continue this process for 2 to 3 minutes. This will get rid of all dirty energies that might have been released during meditation. Grounding is yet another technique that you need to keep in mind. Continue this exercise, or any other exercise that helps you open your third eye, finishing with centering and grounding, for 2 months before you proceed into practical clairvoyant work. Until then, keep reading this book, and you will learn a bit more theory. Opening your third eye with the use of crystals and through light energy. If you wish, you can expand the exercise above a bit further. You will need 2 quartz crystals. Make sure they're properly cleansed. You can cleanse any type of crystal by putting it in salt water for 24 hours, or by burying it in the ground for 24 hours. Then, when the crystals are cleansed, pick up 1 crystal per hand, so you will have 1 pure quartz in each hand. Then, close your eyes, and with each breath in, visualize and intend the pure, healing, and positive energy coming from the crystals through your hands into your third eye, cleansing and healing it. Continue this exercise for 3 minutes, no less, no more. And remember to cleanse the crystal after each session of this exercise. If you wish, and if you do not have crystals at hand, then you can use pure, spiritual energy coming from above. Sit down and relax. Then visualize a bright, spiritual energy coming to you from above, flowing into you through the tip of your head, and moving into the third eye, cleansing and healing it. Continue this exercise for 5 minutes, no more. Opening your third eye with the use of a chakra painting. Another way of opening your third eye is through a different form of the first exercise. You need a painting or a picture of the third eye chakra. If you use the power of Google, then you can find such pictures easily. They usually depict a purple Ajna chakra, which contains the symbol of Om. It looks like this. Just place it, even if it's printed on simple computer paper, on the wall, and begin your meditation. Look at the picture of the chakra, and at the same time, focus on your third eye area. Continue this exercise for about 10 minutes, but no more. In each of these 3 exercises, crystals, higher energy, painting, remember to bring down the energy back to your Tanteen at the end of the exercise. This is an important rule that will keep you safe from the Kundalini syndrome. Also, remember to ground yourself at the end of any of these exercises. These few exercises should be practiced for 2 months at least. Choose one exercise and stick to it. Choose the one that works best for you and is the easiest one for you. Finally, remember that such work might bring bad memories and emotions back to you. In such a case, remember to work these memories and emotions out by use of affirmations or core images work, or any other form of spiritual practice meant to deal with negative mind patterns. It's important to do so, as this is the step of healing the third eye and opening it further. Esoteric safety rules. Before you proceed further, there are some safety rules that you need to keep in mind if you want to become a real psychic. Do not tune into clairvoyance when you shouldn't. Too often people open themselves, meaning, they turn on their clairvoyant vision, when they shouldn't. In reality, being able to see clairvoyantly is very simple, and it can be turned on with a switch. When you know how to do this, you just look and you can see already. But some places aren't recommended for clairvoyance practice. Some places are filled with negative energies, some places are full of negative entities, and some people just don't like being watched. So either make sure you have very strong psychic defenses or that the place you're tuning in is safe. Do not stare. People and entities like privacy. When you turn on clairvoyant vision automatically, it's okay. But don't stare too much, especially when your target doesn't like it. Some entities and people like to defend their privacy by any means necessary. And in the case of negative entities, when you stare too long, you might attract their attention. This isn't good. Do not be afraid of things you see. At the same time, do not be afraid of things you see. There's a lot to see, but some energies and entities don't look nice. You may also see scary messages. Well, don't worry, these are just messages. And in the case of entities, fear might be an invitation. The more you fear, the easier a target you become. So relax and don't be afraid. Ground yourself when you use clairvoyance. Remember to ground yourself. Visualize energetic roots coming out from your legs into the ground, or eat chocolate, smoke a cigarette, perform any grounding technique so you won't fly away. It's a defensive measure you should remember. Remember to cut yourself off whenever you look at something, whether it's an entity or a person or a place. You create an energetic link, a cord through which energy and thoughts flow in both directions. If you want to stay away from troubles, you must cut the link after every clairvoyant vision. It can be done with simple intention by thinking to cut yourself off from the target. Or you can visualize a big, energetic sword cutting a visualized link between you and your target. When you perform any type of psychic work, whether it's simple meditation or a clairvoyant look, you glow on the energetic plane, and entities can see you. You're like a black fly on a white wall. No matter what you do, those who look at the wall will see you. That's why, along with learning clairvoyance and practicing psychic development, you should learn a lot about psychic self-defense. Using affirmations to set up a foundation. Sometimes, problems with clairvoyance originate from wrong beliefs. Some beliefs can be changed through core images work, but sometimes it's best to use affirmations in order to set up a foundation for further work. What is an affirmation? An affirmation is a phrase that we can repeat constantly, and this repetition is meant to reprogram our mind. For example, we can use affirmations to change our negative habit into a positive habit. 4. We are being programmed all the time through books we read, movies we watch, lessons in school, from parents at home, and so on. Sometimes we're taught wrong things, false beliefs. In the case of this book, a false belief that clairvoyance isn't real. Because we believe in it on a subconscious level, and the subconscious is a thing through which psychic information must pass, we are being blocked. Affirmations help us reprogram our negative beliefs and program new, positive beliefs. Now, instead of reinventing the wheel, I will post a longer fragment about affirmations from my other book, Psychic Development Simplified. This fragment will be enough to teach you how to work with affirmations. How to use affirmations. A lot of people think that it's sufficient just to repeat an affirmation in your mind in order to get it to work. This isn't entirely true. Yes, repeating affirmations in your mind will work, but only if you will repeat it for a few months or even years. A good affirmation should be written down, and it should be written down correctly. What does it mean? Look at the example below, please. I don't have a headache. If you repeat this in your mind, then it's an affirmation, but it's a negative affirmation. Why? Because your subconscious mind, upon which we're trying to operate through this technique, doesn't recognize negation. It doesn't understand the word not or no. To your subconscious, the affirmation above looks like this. I have a headache. It's as simple as that. Your subconscious doesn't care if you want or do not want, if you have or do not have. So when you want to start working with affirmations, you need to pay attention now, as there are a few things you need to learn first. How to create good affirmations. First of all, a good affirmation must keep you thinking in a positive way. It cannot include any negative words or phrases. Below are a few examples of bad affirmations. I don't have a headache. I'm not worried. Instead, you should create affirmations that say my head feels good and okay, I'm calm and secure. An affirmation must be always positive in order to replace any negative pattern you might have stored in your subconscious mind. Below are more examples of good affirmations. I, Nathan, am happy. I, Nathan, am innocent, if someone is accusing you. I, Nathan, work efficiently and I like my job, if you have problems in the workplace. I, Nathan, experience pleasure each and every day. I, Nathan, have the right to feel safe in my home, if you feel threatened. Quite simple, isn't it? Generally, as I've stated earlier, we create negative patterns throughout our entire life. Emotional traumas, scary events, bad experiences, they all create our behavior habits, and some of the habits we just can't stand. Affirmations are one of the methods to reprogram our mind and change negative habits and negative thoughts into positive habits and positive thoughts. Notice there's always I, name, something. It's an affirmation for you, so it should include your name. Remember, it's a tool to work with your subconscious, and your subconscious needs a name for identification. Just stick to this rule. Let's say you're always tired at work, but you do like your work, you do what you love, yet you don't experience that energy burst some people have. You might figure out it's because a few years earlier, you were working in a place you didn't like, and you lost your interest in any kind of work. This is a negative habit. You can now use affirmation to reprogram your mind. Simply by focusing on "I'm always full of energy" during work, you can become a walking power cell once more. An interesting fact is that affirmations are tools to work with your subconscious, and your subconscious is a nasty pet. For example, if you change that affirmation a little into "I'm always full of energy in my workplace," then it will work as well. But notice the keyword workplace. Now what might happen if your boss sends you with a delegation? You're no longer in your workplace, and your energy might decide to take a break. Remember to pay close attention to your keywords. As I said, affirmations are tools to work with your subconscious. If you focus on each affirmation, and you focus on it with your heart and brain, after a few days, perhaps a few weeks or months, it starts to overwrite your previous subconscious pattern. It's like a mechanical way to deal with these subconscious problems. Personally, I use affirmations to deal with problems I cannot identify as core images, as I can't work with them with my standard practice. The best way to explain how affirmations really work will be to give you simple examples from my own practice. I had problems with money. I wanted to make more money from my own businesses, but I was just unable to. Some inner growth practices have pointed me to the source of the problem. I had that negative pattern in my mind that was constantly telling me two things. First, something that others have taught me in the past, that it's hard to earn money. Second, something I had taught myself, that those who are rich are dishonest assholes. So I had to deal with these negative patterns. The first one was telling me that I can't really make money easily and with pleasure. The second one was even more problematic. How could I become rich if I consider everyone who is rich to be an asshole? Well, I've created two affirmations: I, Nathan, make money easily and with pleasure, and I, Nathan, have great respect for people who honestly achieved success. Within less than 2 weeks, I managed to deal with both negative patterns. My income jumped about 30%, and I've gained inspiration for dozens of articles and 4 more new ebooks I will write this year. That's for the first affirmation. For the second one, here's an example. My friend, Courtney, published an article in the latest Taps Para magazine issue. Normally, I would envy her and even feel sad because she did it and I didn't. But honestly, when I learned about her success, I was as happy as if it were me who got published. An awesome change of viewpoint. You see how affirmations work. Earlier, I said that affirmations might work after a few days, weeks, or even months. Indeed, there's no set in stone time for affirmations, because some negative patterns in your mind are weaker than others, and some are more established than others. Weak patterns can be dealt with in a few weeks, and difficult and established patterns might require a few months to overwrite. How to know when an affirmation starts working? To understand this, you need to learn how to write and use affirmations. How to write and use affirmations. Before I explain how to write affirmations, I want to say that there are other methods of using affirmations, as well. You can record them and listen to them with your MP3 player, you can speak them aloud a few times a day, you can paint them, you can type them on a computer. However, based on the experience of many people, you should know that these methods require a lot more time for an affirmation to work. The best way, in my opinion, is through handwriting. Therefore, you need a notebook. You shouldn't use the same notebook that you're using as your psychic journal. Use a new, fresh notebook and devote it solely for the purpose of affirmations. When you open it, you can write your affirmations on the left page. On the right page, you should write all your responses. What is a response in the case of affirmations? When you write an affirmation, you get a response from your body. It's either a physical response or an emotional or mental one. For example, you might feel physical pain, recall past memories, feel emotional pain or fear, or get any kind of emotion, positive or negative. You might even have positive physical responses, like pleasure, or you can get simple thoughts like "this is not real," "this is stupid," or "this is fake." You may get positive thoughts like "awesome," Yeah, it's true. All these responses should be written down with no judgment, just write them, and don't judge yourself because you have some negative thoughts. If you focus on them, you might get angry or scared, and this only makes things worse. The point is to write all these responses on the right page so they won't be stuck in your subconscious anymore. An affirmation starts working when you get only positive responses from your body and mind. It means when you write your affirmations, you get only positive sensations, thoughts, and emotions, with no negative responses. This might take weeks or even months. Some schools of thought say that you should write affirmations for 30 days, or even for 90 days. Well, my school of thought is different. You should write down affirmations for 7 days at least. If after 7 days you still get negative responses, then continue writing your affirmations until you get positive responses only. This is the only rule you should stick to when it comes to answering the question, how long should I write? Personally, today I write affirmations for no less than 21 days, but usually, I expand this period to 30 or even 40 days. So how should you write affirmations, anyway? You already know they should be as positive as possible. But you can't just write "I'm happy," because the way we perceive ourselves is not just our view. I mean, the way you see yourself is shaped by your thoughts and the thoughts, opinions, and gossip of other people. Therefore, you should write down each affirmation from 3 perspectives, like this. I, Nathan, make money simply and with pleasure. You, Nathan, make money simply and with pleasure. He, Nathan, makes money simply and with pleasure. And this set of affirmations should be repeated 5 times, so in total, you will write 15 phrases. If you're dealing with a difficult pattern, you can also write 30 phrases or even more, if you like. As you can see, writing affirmations is quite simple. Working with affirmations. When you write affirmations, please don't act like a machine. Feel real enjoyment when you write each word. Use your heart and love the phrases you're writing. By adding positive emotions to positive affirmations, you're improving their effects. They just work better. But if you write things down automatically just to write them, then they won't really work as they should be. So, feel positive. I need to mention a very important thing. After a few days or perhaps weeks of writing your affirmations, you might experience a mental breakdown. You may get sad, angry, and you may think this doesn't work. Do not stop writing affirmations now, because such a breakdown is a sign that the affirmation is beginning to overwrite your old patterns. You must be strong, because a few days later negativity will be gone, and your affirmation will really start to work. Some people experience these breakdowns and some don't. But if you experience it, remember to keep writing affirmations, as such emotional breakdowns are a good sign. Affirmations to improve clairvoyance. The instructions above should help you learn how to write good affirmations. When you do know how to write affirmations, and how to work with them for best benefits, I can give you some examples of affirmations to experiment with, meant to directly improve your clairvoyant abilities. Consider these affirmations as a foundation. They might not awaken your clairvoyant ability, but they might reprogram your mind to such a degree that learning clairvoyance will be a lot easier. I, name, allow myself to perceive the energies and entities around me. I, name, am capable of perceiving energies and entities around me with my inner sight. I, name, allow myself, and I'm able to perceive psychic messages via my inner sight. I, name, can perceive auras and a person's energies via my inner sight. I, name, am allowed to use clairvoyance. I, name, understand that clairvoyance is my natural ability. I, name, understand that clairvoyance is real. I, name, recognize clairvoyance as an ability that I can learn. I, name, trust my intuition. I, name, allow the universe to guide me in improving my clairvoyance. The affirmations above, when practiced properly, will help you build a foundation for your future clairvoyant work. Of course, it will take many months to work these affirmations out, but it's worth it? Remember, when you get a response from your subconscious, write it down and create your own affirmation. Also, think about clairvoyance. Think about your beliefs about clairvoyance, your blockages and programs that you may store in your subconscious, and create new affirmations that you can use. You can work with affirmations along with exercises that open your third eye. Please note, knowledge of affirmations can be used in any field of your life: love, money, passion, etc. Don't hesitate to use them in other areas of your life. The basic understanding. So, here's the basic drill: practice a technique of cleansing and healing your third eye. Whenever any negative emotions, bad memories, bad beliefs about clairvoyance, or any negative mind pattern re-emerges from your subconscious mind, heal it. Use affirmations, core images, for which I'm offering guided meditation and tutorials on the A State of Mind website, or simple Zazen meditation and such, and heal the pattern. Then, go back to the practice of healing your third eye. After 2 months, you will be able to move further into a more practical clairvoyance practice. It's quite simple, isn't it? Preparing your room, preparing yourself. While you practice affirmations each day, you should learn a bit about the environment that you're going to practice clairvoyance in. In most cases, you will be practicing in a private room. Such place should be prepared for any form of psychic work to make it safe for you to work. After all, during the opening process for receiving information, you allow different energies to enter your energetic body. It's wise to keep your environment clean and safe so you can practice safely. For this purpose, you should learn how to create your sacred space. A sacred space is a room dedicated for spiritual and psychic work. Dedicated means that you do not do anything but spiritual and psychic work in such a room. This way, you keep it energetically balanced and clean. As a result, such a place improves your overall psychic and spiritual training. How to create sacred space. Now that you know what sacred space is and why you should use it, you can learn how to create it. First of all, you need to choose the room. It might be an attic or basement, or a normal room in your house that is not used at all. Or it can be a house placed deeply in the forest, or a mountain cabin, a place that looks like a temple, or a room with naked brick, whatever. The choice is yours. What really matters is that the place needs to be quiet and not disturbed by anyone, as you already know. Then, you should follow these steps. 1. Clean the room. You need to clean the room of all items, objects, and garbage of any sort. Leave no furniture, no artificial lights, nothing at all. The place must be clean totally. This is the first thing to do, and the most physical thing to do. 2. Cleanse the room. Then you need to cleanse the room of negative energies. If you're an energy worker, you can use energy manipulation skills and scrub the walls of energies, throwing them away. Here's a simple tutorial to do so. First, sit down inside the room and visualize all negative, dark energies being thrown through doors or through the window. Just visualize it, or in other words, imagine it. Then, visualize bright white light covering the entire room. Try to feel a light breeze inside it. These are semi-magical, or should I say, semi-psychical, psychic, steps to make. After this, take a candle, place it in a pot, and place the pot inside the room. Sprinkle salt around the place and light the candle. Let it burn out. It might take some time. Then light incense, of any sort. You might want to consult some books or websites to choose the best, but in my eyes, any natural incense will do the trick. Let the incense burn out as well. Candle heat, salt, and incense smoke are known for their cleansing capabilities, and yes, this is magical work right now. Finally, if you have wind bells, you can hover the inside the room and open all doors and windows, and air the room. This will cleanse the room of all negative energies and prepare it for magical purposes. 3. Decorate the room. Some people prefer their sacred space to be Spartan in look: no fabric, no furniture, nothing at all. Others like to decorate the room, attach some fabric to the walls, add some candles, and so on. I suggest that you should not get the room too dirty. It should remain as simple as possible. But, definitely, a piece of fabric should be placed on all windows, and it should cover the doors as well. The room must be dark, as light tends to disrupt proper magical energies. The best advice I can give you here is that the room should have a nice feel to your eyes. If you're thinking about an extremely gothic-like room like the one in old vampire movies, go for it. Just make sure the room won't get cluttered. Ward the room. Finally, if you're an energy worker, you can also ward the room. A ward is created through visualization. You can visualize an energetic shield around the room and intend it to block all unwanted or negative energies. Remember to recharge the ward from time to time. Sit down and with closed eyes visualize bright white light covering all walls, windows, doors, floor, and ceiling of the room. Visualize this bright white light becoming a solid mass that cannot be passed by any other energies. That's it, the room is now warded. And now you are done. You have created your sacred space. Nobody should be allowed in your sacred space, as they will disrupt the energies. The more spiritual and psychic work you perform there, the stronger the energy will become. Never get angry in your sacred space. Let it remain sacred and peaceful. If you're angry or afraid, get outside or find another room. No negative energies should be allowed in your sacred space. The creation process of your sacred space might take 2 days or a whole week. That depends on how much garbage you have in the room. If you still feel some residual energies inside it after cleansing, use candles and incense again. Of course, the above is a place intentionally prepared for training purposes. But you may need to open your inner sight in places where such preparations are impossible. You can do this but only after you feel you're ready, meaning, when you feel you have learned enough about psychic self-defense. How to protect yourself. Preparing a training room is one thing. Learning how to protect yourself is another. First, you should learn how to create a psychic shield, a basic defensive measure. This is taught in most psychic workshops, and in most psychic development books, as well. Again, there's no need to reinvent the wheel, so here's a tutorial I published in the past. How to create a psychic shield in few steps. Centering is the process of clearing and focusing your mind. Just focus your mind on the middle of you. This simple process brings you to the here and now, and it is called centering. That middle point is your lower Tantian, an area in your abdomen, which I already have mentioned. Just focus on your lower Tantian, and you're centered. Set your intention, decide what you want. You want to create a psychic shield that will block any negative and unwanted energies from entering you. Keep the intention in your mind. Set up the shield. Now feel the energy, using your favorite energy manipulation system, for example, basic visualization, leaving your inner body and forming either a bubble around your body or an additional layer to your skin. Keep the previous intention inside your mind at all times. Shell when the shield is up, it's time to shell it. Feel or visualize it becoming hard, impenetrable. This process is called shelling, and after you're done, you're done. The shield is up. And it's your basic psychic self-defense measure. How to lower the shield. When the shield isn't needed anymore, it should be lowered. This means it should be destroyed. This is very simple. Have an intention to lower the shield, then feel or visualize it disappearing while keeping the intention of lowering it in your mind. As you can see, both setting up and lowering the shield is very easy, and in most cases, it's possible to achieve success the first time you try it. Remember, it's all about the intention and energy manipulation, and we all know that energy follows thoughts. Tips for remaining safe. No matter whether you do your psychic work in your sacred space, or if you work in the field, you should remember a few safety tips. Light a candle no matter where you are. When you perform a psychic reading or any form of clairvoyance, if there's such a possibility, light a candle. Fire is a well-known means to keeping the area safe of negative energies. Candles are your friend, really. They contain elemental spirits that burn negative energies. Remember to let the candle burn itself out. Do not try to put it down yourself unless you really have to, for example, due to a fire hazard. Ground yourself. Grounding is a process of connecting yourself with the earth. Often, when people perform spiritual or psychic work, such as clairvoyance, they tend to fly away. They might lose their grounding, enter altered states of consciousness, become lost in psychic messages and images, or even become prey for astral critters. Grounding is a safety measure that keeps you anchored to the ground and allows you to return from your spiritual trip. Grounding can be performed through visualization. You can visualize energy roots extending from your legs into the ground, grounding you. If this won't help, you can eat something sweet, for example, chocolate. Sweet food is a good grounding measure. Smoking a cigarette or a pipe is also a great way to ground yourself. Centering should be performed along with grounding. As I said earlier, it's quite simple. Focus on your Tan-Tien. Cleanse. When you do clairvoyance, you collect energetic dust, especially when you do psychic readings, you collect energies from people you read. After each reading, you should cleanse yourself. You can take a bath in salt water. If you do not have a bath, rub salt on your body under the shower. You can also light incense and stand above it for a few minutes, allowing the smoke to cleanse you. These are the simplest methods of cleansing yourself. Do not panic. Sometimes, your clairvoyance might turn on its own, and you might start to see things when you don't want to. In such a case, do not panic. Ground yourself, center yourself, and feel. No fear. Finally, a few more words about cleansing. Remember to cleanse yourself of negative energies regularly if you can. Do this every single day. It's because we collect unpleasant energies on our aura all the time, and if you wish to remain spiritually safe, then spiritual and psychic cleansing is mandatory. Also, remember that if you collect too many negative energies on your aura, then your abilities to perform clairvoyance will get weaker, and you might become blind entirely until you cleanse yourself. I will teach you more about cleansing negative energies from your aura in just a few pages. With these simple tips, you will remain a safe clairvoyant, at least, to some degree. In the field of psychic phenomena, you can never be sure what might happen, so you must be ready for everything. The alpha state. You practice meditation, you've prepared a room to practice in, and you've learned about safety rules. It might be boring, but without these skills, you won't be able to safely practice and use clairvoyance. Now, it's time to learn about the alpha state. The alpha state is a state of mind in which your brainwaves oscillate in the frequency range of 8 to 12 Hz. In simple words, this is the state in which your body is relaxed and your mind is calm. The deeper the state, the more relaxed your body is. And this is the state of mind in which clairvoyance occurs. That is why your next step in learning clairvoyance is learning how to enter the alpha state of mind. You should already know this if you have ever practiced meditation or any technique of relaxation. Months of experience in meditation allows your mind to relax very, very fast in a matter of seconds. Lot of experience in meditation should allow you to enter the alpha state very quickly. But if you do not have experience in meditation or any form of relaxation, then you need to learn it. There are many methods to choose from. Different forms of meditation are easily available. Personally, I recommend Silva's method of mind control, or the gateway experience. Both methods are very effective and can teach you how to enter the alpha state quickly. But if you do not have access to any meditation workshop, or you cannot afford such course on CDs, then don't worry. I have a simple yet